The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Rise! Get yourselves together! Rise! Stand up and live your life! Rise! Get yourselves together! Rise! Hands up high!
I am David C. Owen, and I am recording a video submission for American Pole Fitness Championships 2012.
Doesn't mean I'm weird, and it doesn't mean I need to be in therapy. You know what it means? It means it feels really good.
Can I ask your age, Emma?
I'm 27.
Okay.
And where are you from?
I'm from Derby.
Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married and I've got a 3-year-old daughter.
And I see a pole. I see a skimpy outfit.
I'm trying to promote pole fitness is not for the usual sizes. I'm a bigger lady. And I'm just hoping that people will just see that I'm good at what I do.
All right, Emma, best of luck.
Baby, you're
you to get up there and have such good body confidence is a massive example to girls all over this country. So well done.
Don't care what size you are, you're brilliant at what you do.
I'm going to kick this off with a yes.
It's a yes from me.
It's a yes from me.
4 yeses.
I think she's just a great example for girls.
Welcome to the Rise Above show. I am Joe Peroni.
I'm Heidi.
Do we have any announcements today?
Oh, I just want to thank Jay Young from City Athletic for sponsoring our show, The Rise Above. And you can reach us on YouTube under Rise Above with Joe and Heidi. Also, josephperoni.com. WWDB-TV is where we're at right now, live. So you can also go to that location and find all of our shows archived there also. And if you're looking for help advertising your business or your product or your service, Joe and I would love to help you with that. We can help advertise, and you can help us spread our show around too. So give us a holler.
Perfect. All right, so we have a very special guest today, as you can see. Let me go run down this here. She is a pole dance instructor, CrossFit trainer, Miss Nevada too. Pretty awesome. Is that what it's called?
I was Miss Nevada in, I believe it was 2013, 2014, for the Glitz pageant, Universal Dream, and we did it at the Palms.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah.
So 2013, that still counts? That's
Yes,
relevant?
that's relevant.
Of course.
That's relevant.
And I didn't know this until just recently. You also had a radio show on Vegas All Net Radio.
Yeah, I
That's where
did.
we
I miss it
started.
so much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. It just felt like years and years ago. So just with all the things that I've done, I'm like, I don't know how to do a bio anymore. I don't really know what to put.
So what was your radio show about?
It was a mix of different lifestyle stuff and a little bit sports. So we just mixed everything into it. It started off because I was doing a talk show on V Asian TV. It was actually Vegas TV, V Asian TV, and it was a lifestyle show. I met a bunch of girls there, and then someone produced our radio show, and we would just do it every week. It was such a blast.
Wow, awesome. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say your name. This is Tara.
It's like, duh, who is that?
Duh.
This is Tara Starr. Round of applause.
I did not know that Jay sponsors this show.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love Jay. I love City Athletic Club. Like, we're there all day, 24/7.
Yeah, it's interesting this week. I wish I could talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We have signed contracts that we're not allowed to talk about it this week, but next week I think all bets are off, right?
Probably.
So I can bring it up, but I can work it into our conversation today somehow without really saying it.
Maybe.
I think. Yeah, don't worry. I'll see if I can do that.
Well, why we have you here, tell me more about yourself. You're in school. You and I talked a little bit the one day on the Stairmaster.
Oh, gosh, I think I'm too old for school
you're
right
doing
now.
College.
I go to
No,
school.
I'm too
You were
old for
taking
school.
classes. Did you tell me you were taking classes?
I'm not taking classes necessarily,
Yeah.
but I'm studying for my NASM.
Okay.
Yeah, to get my personal training cert. I've been doing group fitness, pole fitness for about 5 years now.
Okay.
So I wanted to take it to the next step so that when I'm teaching my classes, I want to be able to name exactly like which muscle is which, what we're working right here. I just want to know everything.
Okay.
That's why I ended up
Well,
doing
5
all of
o'clock
this.
in the morning, I know we were talking about it. And
Was that 5 o'clock in the morning?
It was
After,
early.
Like, a 6 a.m. CrossFit
It was
session.
after it was before one of your, no, it was before your class or something. You were doing your Stairmaster, and you said you had to teach after that. And I said, well, I'm going to go to the salon after that, and I have to go work there.
I don't even know time anymore when we're there.
No. It's crazy.
So tell me how you got started with this pole dancing.
In 2000, so I moved to Vegas for the very first time in 2009, and I moved from the Philippines. I was telling you a little bit about this when we were chatting the other day at the club, that I was just heavy into partying as a teen. Because in the Philippines, labor is cheap, everything is cheap, you have no responsibility for the most part. I mean, depending on where you grow up. And it was just a little too much. And so I moved here to Vegas to fix my life. And a lot of people, they come to Vegas to party, and I did the opposite of that.
Yeah, that would be a weird place to come to fix your life.
Yeah, but you get yourself out of that environment with all the shady people, and you go somewhere new, then, you know, it's like a nice fresh start. I moved here in 2009. I moved to the Bay Area for a couple years because I had no friends. I didn't know anyone here. And then I moved back here in 2012, and I saw a Cirque du Soleil show when Michael Jackson first died. That was Michael Jackson Immortal.
Yeah.
And I remember watching, there was this woman that was pole dancing to Bad. And I think the pole was so tall, it was about 25 feet tall. And she was doing tricks from the top of the pole, and I was so mesmerized. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this. And I looked around at different studios. I'd done a class in the Bay Area before, but it's so expensive elsewhere. And here I found Pole Fitness. It's $99 a month from the very beginning. It's been $99 a month, unlimited, no contracts. You can take as many classes, like 10 classes a day if we have that, between both the studios. And then I just started going there for about a year and finally got certified through Fania.
I didn't realize it was expensive.
It is expensive.
It is so expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah, in other cities where I went, in the Bay Area, it was about $40 for an hour class. Our drop-in rates are a little bit lower, $30. We have $20 discounted classes, but still like $40 for an hour each week. That was a little too much to swing.
Yeah, especially as a beginner not knowing anything.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hours.
And I wasn't determined, like, oh my God, let me spend all my money on pole dancing.
Right.
Like, I didn't really care. Yeah.
So did you have any previous dancing before that would help you with this?
Just as a child, my parents every summer would just send me to like some kind of dance class, jazz and hip hop, ballet when I was little. My favorite story about ballet is when I was little, I was taking ballet for a while and I quit because they were so strict in ballet class. I remember being 7 years old and they asked me, actually no, I asked the teacher, can I use the restroom? And they're like, no, you can't use the restroom. Like, as a little child, hello, I'm trying to go. I'm not just hanging out. And I peed myself, and I never went back to ballet. I peed myself on purpose. Like, bye, this is not for me.
Well, one of the questions I want to ask you, and this I get asked this all the time. He asked me this, other people. I've watched the classes myself, and it's something I want to do as I'm an athlete. So I watch it, and I go, I look at that like I would like to do it for that, to challenge my body in another physical way. I've talked to you privately about, my other things I'd like to learn for my relationship type thing. But when women do pole dancing, is it, people have this conception that when women want to take a pole class, it's so that they can become a stripper. I know that there's the clientele that probably that's the goal, but there are other reasons why women take the pole dancing classes, which would be, what have you found to be the reasons for them wanting to come into the classroom?
Just fitness and self-confidence mainly. I see a lot of what pole has done for people in terms of their self-confidence, and I can attest to it personally as well. When I first started going to pole class, you're self-conscious, you're scared, you think that the other women are going to be catty because that's what we're used to in society, that women are beating each other down. But in pole class, you just never feel like you're being bullied. You always feel at home. Even if you do take your clothes off, we never fully strip in pole class. But the reason that we're half naked most of the time is because when you're doing the tricks, you need that extra skin to stick on your pole. And we create that environment in which everyone feels comfortable just being who they are, not feeling like they have to be a certain something, fit a certain ideal to be a part of that class and in that community.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do get, with strippers, I think right now, I haven't encountered a lot in my classes lately. I would say conservatively 20 to 30% of our clientele right now are strippers.
That's interesting because I have a lot of, not a lot of clients, but a lot of my girls, they'll say, yeah, I want to take that class. And for some reason, they hold back. And I do too. I'll be honest with you. I'm working with Christy now with the silks and all the stretching and all that, and it's on the floor. The next thing would be up on a pole, and I'm apprehensive too. But then there's a part of me that says, well, you got to get in touch with your inner
Like your inner goddess.
Your inner god. You know, we talked about this before. I guess. Do you want this? He's going to ask you this question. Do you want to be eye candy or soul food? And my response to him was,
slow that down. I work so hard.
I know,
on that
but wait a
question.
minute.
It was
But
such
I
a
said,
good question.
but I said
Like,
to him, ideally,
relax and
I think
feel
women.
how
Thank you. That's
that
what I said.
Yeah.
I said to him, I think, in my opinion, and we want to hear from you. I said, me as a female, because we have these talks all the time. You know, you want to be pretty. You want to be the pretty girl, because in society, and this is the reality, the ugly girl usually doesn't get the jobs. She doesn't get the guy at first.
In Las Vegas, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we live in a society where, you know, as much as a man might say, you know, I want the girl that has the heart, the girl that has the soul, they do want that, but they do navigate towards the pretty girl in the room. And I said, I think all women want to be the eye candy. They want to be the goddess, not necessarily to every man, but to the man they're with. And we also want to be, you know, their soul food. But again, I think women get mixed up in the societal thing that it puts us in sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That we get so caught up in appearances sometimes. We get so caught up with the numbers on a scale in a certain way that we're expected to look and be.
But who do you think expects that? Like, we have these discussions too. Who expects us to look a certain way? Is it other women or is it the men?
Is it the women or the men? I feel like women are harder on other women than
I
men
told you that was going to be the
Yeah.
answer.
I just told him I
Yeah,
came out of
women
the
are
gym
so
before.
hard on each other.
And I'm walking out, and all of a sudden this guy, I look over and he's going, and he's like this, and I turn around and I look behind me, and he goes, no, you. He goes, I love your arms, and I go, oh, I go, thank you. And then right away I go like this with my t-shirt, and I pull it down, and I get in my car. But I came home and I told him, I said, another woman I have been made fun of. I've been made fun of at least a couple times in the last 2 weeks if my arms are out by other females.
What?
Yes.
By other females?
And I said to him,
who are those females, and where can I
I
get
know,
them?
but men never have.
Okay.
I've never had a male say to me,
Yeah.
"You look too muscular," or "You look gross," or they have a derogatory. It's always a female that will say, and it's the same thing with the stripper and the pole classes. Women have a tendency to say, "Well, those women, this, that." Do you know what I mean? But it's secretly,
And I
or
get it.
inside, most women want to be the girl on the pole. So there's a little contradiction there, I think.
Yeah, there's still a huge stigma about pole. I mean, it's a lot more out in the open right now, especially with Pole Expo that we bring here every year. We bring it to the Hard Rock. It's September 6th through the 10th of this year. And my boss, Fania, at Pole Fitness Studio, she's the world's first pole dancing instructor. She is going to put that on. She started it in 2012, I believe. So it's been going on for the last few years. And we just want to open that up to the community so that we're out there. Like, pole is not about stripping. Pole is about loving yourself and finding the strength to be capable.
Thank
There you go. Yeah, because I thought about this a lot this week, and that's why I kind of wanted to see if that's what it is. That's why I came up with that whole thing, because it's been my experience so far that, you know, we have it at City. Obviously, that's where you are.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of women clients, and they'll walk past it, and they almost give it this look. Not all of them, but I would say most. And they have this almost like they're offended, like they're angry that, oh, those are women on a pole. Like, and I'm like, no, it's really great exercise, and I'm pretty sure it actually builds confidence and self-empowerment. You know, it's really interesting. One of the questions that came up with a couple of my women clients was, where is the dividing line then between empowerment and the exploitation of a woman? Not my question, by the way, because I don't think it's exploitation at all. You know, it's free choice to do it.
Question.
It is? All right. Because, I mean, just so you know where I'm at, I think I've been watching the videos more specifically, and the men and the women. It's really amazing stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't do that. And
I would
not
like
even
to
close.
see you try. I really do.
Then you would need a stretcher. When I hit the
Bodybuilders doing
fall.
pole dancing.
So then I came up with this other thought, right? So we have pole dancing, where you have the pole is vertical, right? So if you take that vertical pole and just make it horizontal, now we're in the Olympics with, say, the balance beam.
True.
And then if we have two horizontal poles, we have whatever they call that. The men do the thing too, right? And
Okay, I know what
balance
you're
beam type
talking
stuff.
about, yeah.
And then if you have them uneven, well, then you have the women uneven parallel bars. So there's a stigma attached when you take that and you just go, whoop, and it's the same athletic skill, but they just don't like which way the pole is facing. So to me, I just think of it in terms of athletics. Like it's kind of interesting the way people look at it. They're like, well, they'll watch the Olympics all day long if having the choice, but then they look at a stripper type thing, a stripper pole, and they're like, oh my God, no. So I think it's saying a ton about them and not actually about the people doing the classes.
I think it's our outfits too that kind of put people off. But the shoes, in reality, are actually very functional.
Huh.
Yeah, so the heels, they make them with the clear straps so that they're sticky and they actually help you climb and stick.
Yeah.
Because if you've ever touched any of those stripper poles before, then you'll notice that it's super slippery. Like, how are you going to hold on to that?
You can't.
Yeah.
So the skin makes you stick to it easier, or I would think it would hurt.
Oh my gosh, I tell my students, if it hurts, you're doing it right. Especially in the beginning.
Okay, good, because I have that philosophy with just about everything.
There's bruises here and there, like this bruise right here, I'm trying a new grip, and I just got that bruise from that. I don't really bruise
you
easily
grip it on the
anymore.
outside of your arm, though.
Yeah, so the grip, I mean, there are several ways to go upside down. And I'm well versed in the basic ways to do it. And then I took this class with this lady, Janine Butterfly. She's at another pole studio here in town, and she performs in MJ1. And I took a class with her last weekend, and the tricks that she was showing me, she showed me this new grip, and it just blew my mind. So the pole's right here, and then you grip it like that, kind of like you're hugging it on the inside of your arm. And that's where this came from, and then you're pulling down.
Oh, so you're going to have to get used to that one. It's going to hurt every time until it doesn't.
Oh my gosh, it's so awful. Yeah, it takes about for me personally, I'm a slow learner. Every move that I've ever learned, everything I've gotten is through blood, sweat, and tears. Almost literally. And it takes me 2 months to get used to a more advanced move.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's a stupid question I was thinking when I was watching these videos. How do you stop from getting dizzy? Like, I get dizzy just watching it. Like, you're spinning around the whole time. I don't see too much stopping. Other than that, you're upside down, and that can't be comfortable either. So is that something you actually...
You have to work towards it. Yeah, it's a skill. I mean, a lot of people with a background of gymnastics, ice skating, a dance background, they're kind of used to the whole spinning several times. But the first couple years that I was doing pole, I was not comfortable on a spin pole. There are several different poles, by the way. There's static, wherein the pole doesn't move, and you're the one that creates the momentum to do your spins. And then there's a spinning pole, where you take out a pin at the bottom of the pole, and the pole spins with you.
Oh.
And the poles at Summerlin, oh my gosh, they spin so fast. Like, there have been times... Yeah, at the gym. There have been times that I've gotten off the pole and I just wanted to puke my guts out.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then you go the opposite way to combat it. Like, you go the opposite way right away so that it doesn't feel as bad. Or you just sit there and kind of grimace. Yeah.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Or you could be like me. I told Christy I'm not doing it. She had me want to do the snakehead thing. And when
What snakehead thing?
When I can do it now, but in the beginning I couldn't do it. And you
you're doing it now?
You know, like you look up, but you have to twist your head, and I'd be like...
You look up and twist your head. Wait.
I go, I can't do it.
What do you mean?
I get dizzy. You go down. You'll see, if you call me, I'll show you my routine.
Oh my God, I want to see this. I want to see
But they
this.
call it a snakehead, where you're looking down and you come up. You know, you come up really, and you eye the audience.
Like chest down towards the
and
ground?
you come up. You don't,
Oh, okay,
you
okay.
Come up, but then I have to snap my head. Well, when I would do that and then go into my next move, I would be like,
Oh my
God. And I go, that's not going to look very good if I fall on
And
the
you've
stage.
got to wear those heels, right?
No, I'm flat-footed.
Oh,
I'm flat-footed,
okay.
thank God.
So
Yes.
you're allowed to be. You guys don't have to wear
I don't have
those
to wear
heels
heels.
in your...
No.
Okay.
No, the other divisions, they have to put
Yeah,
the
like
heels on, not
bikini,
us.
they have to wear the little pleasers.
Yes.
The white...
Yeah, the white see-through.
Yeah.
The stripper shoes.
Yeah, the stripper heels.
We've worn them. You know, but this class we don't have to do that. But just a little movement
that's
like
great.
that, where you have to bring your head up and bring your neck around, I would be like, my equilibrium would go off. I go, oh my God. And she would do it, and she'd be, and I go, oh
And
my
it would
God.
be so perfect.
And so
Oh my
perfect.
gosh,
and
watching it on
everything.
someone
I mean,
else,
everything
like,
else,
wow.
And it's taken me 18, I've worked with her how many weeks now? 18 weeks. 3
18
sessions a week
weeks?
to get and when you said everything is blood, sweat, and tears, me too. It takes
You work
me
so hard.
forever to learn a 1-minute routine.
I know some people
It's
it
only
just
1
comes
minute.
naturally
Yeah,
to.
no.
Yeah, pole dancing did not come naturally to me.
Does it come naturally to anybody?
To gymnasts, I would say.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I
that
have
makes
this
sense.
one student. Oh my gosh, she's like my star student. She has been with me. If she's listening, Allie is my star student, and she's been with me for I think like 7 months now. In her very first class, she got this one move that I had worked 3 months to get. And I taught it to her, and her first day she got it. I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Why are you just naturally?
So this is something I think that, in my opinion, I think every woman should try, because I think every woman, most women out there are insecure. Most women don't feel good about who they are, because we look at other women and we say, "Oh, I wish I had her hair, her body, her man, you know, whatever our insecurities are." And I think that women should do it.
Absolutely.
And but they're so, like he said, his female clients, and even mine. I mean, I have all girls, and they'll be like,
strange.
why would somebody do that? I go, I'm going to take it.
About it.
But I'm a lot older than you,
but
so
it's
I don't
just,
even want to hear
it's
it.
done so much for me personally, like even spiritually and mentally. It has done so much. I used to walk into class, again, shy about my body, feeling like other people are judging me. And then just coming after a while, I tell my students, especially my bachelorette parties that I have every weekend, and I teach them a routine. They're like, how do you look sexy doing this? Like, dude, for real, in the beginning, it took me 6 months to not feel like a complete idiot doing what I was doing. And then over time, you just naturally start to get comfortable with your body, and you stop judging yourself so harshly. And now when I walk into a room, even though I know for a fact that I am not supermodel tall, I feel like Giselle Bundchen. I really do. Just because, like, pole has taught me to love myself and accept myself, and it's taught me that it's not about me. Everybody is on, like, a different
journey.
Yeah, like a different step in their journey, and it's not about their journey, but it's about my own. And so pole has done that.
One of the things that I'm learning with this dancing stuff too is that I have to do everything that I'm uncomfortable with. And one of the things I've always been uncomfortable with is looking at myself. You know, when they say look in the mirror and say you like yourself, you know, I don't want to look at myself.
Oh my gosh, I know, it's
and
so
then
weird.
touching, right?
Yeah.
So they go, we want you to touch yourself, and I go,
what class is this? We want you to touch yourself?
This is for my routine, right? So I go,
I don't know if that's the
I don't wanna,
fitness part.
I go, I don't know if I want to touch. And she goes, no, you need to visualize something, you know, in your head. So it's taken me 18 weeks to have this visual in my head and be able to run my hands down my body.
Oh my gosh, I call it Channing Tatum hands in my class. So I'm teaching people how to walk around the pole, and we're walking around the pole, and I'm like, your one hand is touching the pole so you can walk, and then as you're walking, your other hand that's not touching the pole is your Channing Tatum hand. You want to touch yourself the way you want Channing Tatum to touch you.
That's
as
what she
you're
said.
walking around
She
your
goes,
pole.
I can't say this too loud. She says to
You're
me,
on
who's your guy?
Yeah.
And I go, my guy. And they go, no, it can't be Joe. And I said, so the same thing what you said, like this fantasy of a guy. How would you want him to touch you? And I'm like, they go, that's it.
And I mean,
right
yeah,
there,
you
that's
know,
the right
he's
one.
universal. Channing Tatum's universal. Okay, so I just use him. Like, your Channing Tatum hands.
Yeah.
And then there's another part where I like to teach this in bachelorette parties a lot, where it's called the Madonna, this particular move, where you have your back against the pole, and you're leaning against it, your hips are off. You're going to go into hip circles. And then hip circles, you make contact with your audience, and you're going to touch yourself a little bit, you know, running your hands up and down your body, appreciating your body. And I tell people, if you're confused, pretend you're sexily applying lotion. Sexily applying lotion, get those ashy knees and your ashy elbows, and it's gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. It's a visual. Mine was the rain at first. Mine was in the shower. She goes, what would make you feel like that?
Oh.
And I go, I don't know, when I'm in the shower.
The rain? Is
And
this
then-
a new hip-hop artist that I do not know about?
You know, what she was trying to do is get me to connect to my body. And to be able to do, because in this song I'm doing, it's a very sensual song, and she said, I have it, what I want you to do.
What song? Are you allowed to say?
It's Magic Man from Heart.
Oh,
so
okay.
She wants me to, you know, touch myself.
Yeah.
You know, because the song is about a woman and her lover. She said, but you have to, in your head, visualize what makes you feel like that so that you can do it authentically, because it looks creepy. If you're not doing it right,
if you're not doing it right,
you look creepy.
What?
You're like, you know, it's like the audience is going to be like, what is she doing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. She says you need to do things that you're uncomfortable doing. Whatever it is you're uncomfortable doing, you need to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in pole and learning sessions there that women are uncomfortable with their bodies to start with, and I think it's a, like you said, when you say the Tatum touch, I'm sure a lot of women are not comfortable touching their
Yeah, and then we
bodies.
just laugh about it, you know. In the beginning, it's funny, and then after a while, you're like, "Oh my god, wait, my skin's so soft."
It's like,
I
I
never
never realized
realized this about myself.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're learning something?
I'm learning a lot. So how do you get women then to pass through that thing where they're looking at it thinking that it's exploitation in some way? You know, just to, because if you get past that, then there'll be a lot more women that are okay with doing this type of thing.
How do we get them to look past that? Oh, here's my pageant self coming out. Okay. Well, I just, you know, sometimes at CAC, City Athletic, we'll
Right.
have people standing outside. And, you know, we kind of see them watching, and we're just very friendly as a community to them. And we just invite them in, invite them into our world so that they can see that what we're doing is not exploitation. I think it becomes exploitation when someone does it and they do it because they feel like they have to, not
okay.
because they enjoy it.
All right, no, that's a good answer. Because one of the things I was thinking of too is that, listen, I don't know what it's like to be a heterosexual woman, obviously, but so I'm trying to figure this out. So I'm going to end up asking you, right? Like, as a man, I've done bodybuilding shows, I've done boxing, I've done wrestling, and all these things. I'm going to say there's not, in terms of that, there's not one sexual bone in my body. In other words, I know where you're going with that. But but that's in terms of sports.
Good. I'm glad you don't think that. Then you're happy.
But in terms of sports, right? In terms of, like, a woman looking at it could say, okay, there's a guy, he's competing, he's not wearing any clothes, 4% body fat. That is somewhat, you can look at it as sexual. But me doing it, there's no sexuality whatsoever. It's just because it's my body and I'm performing a type of skill. So I was thinking that maybe in pole dancing, that's what it could become too, because there's a sense of danger in it. So it's not all sexual. It can be just a performance.
Absolutely.
That-
There are many different
That
styles.
looks like, from the observer, that it could appear to be sexual because the person's in shape and they're doing really awesome things with their body. Just like when I was wrestling, right? Like, I'm not barely wearing any clothes. Obviously, I was muscular. You can maybe, if you want, see sexuality in that. Although I'm not trying to get a guy in a headlock going, yeah, look, you know what I mean? There's
Look at my
no actual
biceps.
sexuality. So do you think that that's part of it too? Is that when you're teaching people, there might be an element of danger in it, and so it elevates it to a sport where if people want to see sexuality, that's in them, not necessarily you.
So I love that you brought this up because not all pole is sexual. You know, it's viewed primarily as, you know, a very sexual art depending on the practitioner and how they dance. I taught children's pole for a while. I was teaching at the studio here in town, and I taught 9, 10-year-olds, like little gymnastics kids. And there was no sexual aspect of it whatsoever, obviously, because these are young girls, you know. So we approach it more in a way that, like, hey, we're going to climb the pole, we're going to have a climbing contest, we're going to do this and that. So it really just depends on the setting.
Right.
And as an instructor, we all kind of have our different personalities. And mine, I love the hair flipping and I love the exotic aspect of it because I've had to deal with so much body confidence and self-confidence issues that's the primary reason that I flock to pole and I stick with it and I like to preach pole.
Because one of the things I noticed in your class too is that you have a very diverse students in there, and I'll say some of the classes that I've taken, you know, yoga, different things over the years, you know, you walk into a class and you can see somebody that looks physically fit and you go, oh, they're fit, they're going to be able to ace this. And I can tell you from my own experience that yoga is really hard for me, even though I appear
yoga
to be
is so
fit.
hard.
And I watch the classes and there's different shapes, sizes of women coming and going in there. And I think it's great because so many women, if they are a little on the heavier side, more muscular side, they're not a stick or skinny, you know, whatever we think, you know, we need to be, they won't go to that class because a lot of women would think that they have to be a certain body type to be able to take a pole class. So, and I've seen girls in your class that are, you know, muscular and in shape. I've seen girls that were, you know, a lot not in shape, and I've been like, wow, that girl can get on that pole. You know, I mean, I'm not being a jerk. I'm just saying.
No, but I have a couple
it's changed
regulars
my
that are older.
my perception of it a little bit, and I go, oh, okay, well, that's, if they can do that, then maybe, you know, I could do that.
So if I'm naming names, I mean, I have a 46 and a 50-year-old in my class. They've been coming to class for about 5 months now. Denise and Shu, and I love them so much, and just the progress that I've seen from them. I mean, they can just pick themselves up and go upside down. Like, there really is no age limit.
And it is not all sexual, because that's something that
it's
women
not.
need to understand, because that, as soon as you say pole to women, they get this thing, well, the first thing is, oh, it's strippers do that. Yes, they do. But I also think that
pole, I mean,
you can
no.
do it too.
that
Why
would
can't
be a hard class, wouldn't it, though?
You have to take yoga.
Children's
first. You
pole?
can't stretch.
Well, I mean,
you should have him in the children's class.
Oh my gosh, no, the
Yeah.
children's class, my gosh, they are phenomenal because they're so light. They're better than me that I get so intimidated. I taught it for about 2 months before my schedule changed and I had to give it up. And I love these little kids so much, and they were just so excited about it. But they were so good, and they're so bendy.
Yeah. They're bendy.
And I'm like, wait, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm bendy, but you're bendier. What do I do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So when you do training, right? You also do CrossFit. So one of the things I was thinking about is, okay, if you're working out with weights or most any skill, you can start at a really low level and build people up.
Absolutely.
Now, the thing is, because I don't know anything about pole fitness really, but I was looking at that, that must be really difficult, because even at the low level, like, I'm thinking you have to be able to hold yourself up. Like, is there a low level? I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. There is
because
a low
what
level.
would be a low level? Like, I'm seeing, like let's say somebody's weak, right? And they want to do curls. They don't have to curl 100 pounds. They can curl 5. It makes sense. But in terms of pole, which I don't know much about, it seems like they have to be able to lift their whole body weight, which that is really difficult for most anybody. So how do you start off at a beginner level?
So at a beginner level, it is a lot of floor work and flexibility, a little bit of walking around the pole, depending on who the teacher is or what the class is. There's a little bit of the central movement, with the hands and all that. And the spins are actually easier than they look, some of them. But some of them are so much harder. Some of them look easy, but they're awful. But it's more about understanding how to use your body than it is about pure strength.
Okay.
For instance, with the spins, I tell people that you need that momentum of your outside leg, which the outside leg is the leg that's farther from the pole, to do one of the basic spins. If you really swing that leg out, then you're not going to have to muscle it up all the way. You're using your legs to help you up. And climbing, too. Climbing is one thing people look at, and they think that it's all arm and it's all upper body, but in reality, a lot of it is leg strength. So it's just understanding where things go, how to work towards things. Anybody really can do a pole class. The oldest professional pole dancer, I believe, that I'm familiar with might be 75. Wow. 74, 75, I might be wrong. I know there's this Japanese lady, Tomoko, and she appeared on Italy's Got Talent, and now she's the world, but she did a pole routine. She was in her 70s, I think. And then there's Greta Pontarelli, a little bit older, and one of Vanya's aunts, Aunt Mary, is 65, something like that.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And it's true what you say, Tara, about the learning your body.
Yeah.
Because with weightlifting, I've done weightlifting, and yet weightlifting is different way of teaching your body. And then you go into the dance, and you go into the movement part, and the yoga part, and the stretching, and then you start mighty movements, and it's not always, it looks a certain way, but when you start to do it, you realize you're positioning your feet a certain way, the way your arm is coming this way, the other one travels with it, and it's all this, just learning how to move your body, and for me, it's been a challenge too. That's why I think with pole dancing, I think I would like to try it, just because.
And then you'll get an understanding of your body.
But dancing looked easy. Like when I see somebody, like Christy, watched her for years, and when you watch somebody that's good at what they do, you go, wow, that looks really easy. You guys make it look easy. And when you start to learn what you just said, you're starting to learn how to move your foot, how to place your foot, how the hand comes down, how to climb a pole, how to there's some technicality to that probably. Like you said, your outside foot has to be a certain length from the pole.
Yeah.
These little, I don't want to say they're tricks, but they're little things that you learn how to move your body. So all that makes sense.
Yeah. How do you do that one where they're like this way to the
Sideways.
Oh, the
pole?
flag?
It looks like, is that what it is?
flag.
And then they move their legs. It looks like they're running this way.
Oh, yeah, the flag. Okay, definitely one of the hardest moves in pole.
Can you do that?
I cannot yet. I think I'm 20 pounds and 6 months away from it.
Oh, you have it down to a time now.
I say that because recently I lost a little bit of weight just from watching what I eat because I'm super active. It's just, it was the food that really, really killed me. And I've dropped about 10 pounds in a month.
You look good.
And it makes pole
you look
so
good
much
before,
easier.
but you notice it. I
Yeah,
notice it.
oh my gosh, getting your butt up over your head. Oh, it's so much easier. All the gymnastics movements. Yeah. So, because I have the strength, it's a lot of oblique strength to get to that point.
Right. I can see
Because
that.
I can do the Iron X. The Iron X is kind of like the flag, but then your legs are spread apart. So your legs are spread apart in a split. It kind of looks like you're in an X shape to the side of your pole. And I can do that. That's a little bit easier because you have more balance. The legs are spread.
Right.
But then you bring the legs together and you're just holding yourself solid right there, like in a plank position. Then you feel that in your obliques. You feel that in your arms, your lats, especially.
Yeah, I don't think I can do any of that. My legs are too heavy. It's not going to happen.
I saw this thing on, I think it was BuzzFeed a couple of weeks ago, of these bodybuilders pole dancing. And this heavyweight bodybuilder, he couldn't pick himself
there's just
up.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Or when they try to do ballet or something too, that's the other thing.
Oh my
And they
God.
can't touch. They can't
Yeah.
even. Like, they tell them to bend down, and they're like right here.
It's like, yes, you're so strong, but
You're so strong, but you can't move. Like you need
can you
some-
bring your elbows together? Can your elbows touch?
put your
Right.
elbows together.
All right, hold on. Yeah,
Barely.
it takes me a little, but I
Yeah.
can do that. I did. Listen, if I was
Can
going to
you
be,
do it, John?
if I was going to be tested, I would have
John's
practiced.
Yeah, I think it's like a bodybuilder thing, because, if you're, like, really huge
if
up
I
there...
can,
then
it's not
like-
a good thing, right? It means I don't have enough muscle. So speaking of that, though, how is it in terms of marketing for men? I mean, I think I saw a few guys.
Yeah, we do
actually
get
play-
guys, and we do have male instructors. For men, in terms of marketing, we try to teach them more the strength moves. But we
Right.
do have a men's only pole class at our other studio, because we have two studios now, one by the Palms, and then the one inside City Athletic Club. And at our Artville studio by the Palms, we have that men's only pole class.
Oh, really? How many people show up?
At this time, I'm not really sure. I think it was about 4 or 5.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's about 5 more than I would have thought.
Yeah,
I mean, not to
definitely
be
the
mean,
market
but I just
for
don't know.
women is like, yeah.
But during the show, we were going to play a video of it. We probably played it in the beginning. And the guy's amazing. Like, yeah, it's crazy all the stuff that they can do.
And with you guys, you have naturally more upper body strength. So then you try and move on the pole and you just nail it. Moves that I worked 4 months towards.
I believe you need some type of flexibility, and that in itself would be a problem.
It depends. You can get away with very little.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I had very little flexibility. Sign me up. That I can do.
Oh my gosh, can we film something where we're doing the show there in the pole studio?
Yeah. That's
Let's
not
do
a
it.
problem.
Joe,
We can do
take a
that.
poll.
That was my first idea, actually.
Oh my God,
but I
we
didn't know
should
you
do
guys, so
it.
I figured you guys would be like, okay, you're getting creepy on me.
No.
So,
I mean, people outside the windows, they stare all the time, and
stare.
we're just like,
You see the girls are in there doing their thing, and the guys are walking by, and they're and then the
But
ladies
at City, they're
stand
not
there.
very creepy. They're
and
they're
they
pretty
look
chill.
and they look.
actually, they are, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's kind of weird, though? It's like people go, well, okay, they're looking, because they see the stripper poles and stuff. But come on, let's be honest. If you see like 8 people spinning on a pole with the cool lights that you guys have, come on.
Of course you're gonna
Anybody
look.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not a great guitar player by any stretch, but if you put me in that room with your flashing lights and stuff and you amp me up, everybody would look.
What
Like,
would you play?
I don't know. Give me a chance. I'll
Smoke on the water.
Smoke on the water.
Oh,
I can play.
yes! Oh, my God.
I can give you 3 chords to Stairway to Heaven. How about that?
Hey, that's 3 more than I can do. So, yeah.
We can do that. So let's advertise for your thing here a little bit. But there's there's a question that I want to take from here. So this is your exotic dancer course.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that too, so they can invest, and if it's, well, I mean, they don't have to get a job as a stripper. But one of them, it says, make him say yes to a dance and take him to VIP. Now, I was wondering about this because there's some psychology to this, and now I'm really interested too. What is the psychology behind that? Like, can you look at somebody and see if they're lonely or if they're interested? You know what I mean? That type of thing.
I do not know. Like,
I mean, is that part of what what you teach? I'm not really sure. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, by the way. You're looking at me weird, but
Yeah,
I think it's really interesting.
But I think you're overthinking it.
Oh.
When it comes to, I mean,
wait, can you look at somebody and be like, oh my God, he's lonely?
I think that. I think that if you, I think you're overthinking it. I think that if a man is being entertained by a female dancer, depending on what she's doing, I think there would probably be some way that she could entice him into the VIP room. And I don't think it has much to do, I don't think it's because he's lonely or anything. I think because he's a man.
Okay.
And if you know how to feed a man.
But it also has applications, though, right?
Or no?
Oh, in real life?
Yeah. Like, I was thinking it has applications. Like, let's say things are a little boring for a while, or, and you're trying to spice things up. That I could say that make him say yes to fun on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm just seeing one sentence, and I didn't take the class.
Make him say yes to life and yes to Jesus?
Well, I think that comes down to confidence, don't you?
Yeah.
Like if you're with your guy, and I'll throw this out there. I've tried to do this for him. And I smile, I crack up at myself.
Oh my gosh, no, that's the hardest part.
Oh my God, I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta swing my leg over his head while he's in the chair, and all I could think of is I'm gonna kick him in his teeth with my heel. So I go, you know what, I'm killing the whole thing. This whole thing is not gonna go well. It'd be more like a comedy. So because I'm not confident, that has to come through. So I think part of seduction or part of the VIP experience would be a woman that's confident, that can make the eye contact, can say, come with me, type thing. And it all comes down to being confident. And if you're not confident in your body,
true, with
clothes on, you're sure as hell aren't going to be comfortable without the clothes on. So I guess what he was asking before was, how do you,
I want to know.
what's behind it?
Because I think it's helpful, right? Like, not just helps sell your program, but I think that there's a lot of women out there that would want a little help in that direction. In terms of how do you spice up your marriage? How do you spice up a relationship? Because I think somewhere in there, that's would encompass that, right? Make a guy say, yeah, it's like, it's a subtle dance, so to speak. And there's psychological parts. So how do you teach that on week 3?
Are we on week 3 for the exotic dancer course that is taught by Trixie Lovett at our Arville studio? What day is it today? It's the 23rd. Okay, so we're gonna have one more day of that. That's Wednesday the 29th at 3:30 p.m. And one class, just one class, I believe, is $65 right now, as opposed to the whole course, which was $200 for that full course. Again, I was veering away from your question, advertising a little bit, getting that in there. But yeah, for the, what was it? Make him say yes to a dance and take him to VIP. I think the confidence in being able to do that, and I can't say this from experience because my mom is super Catholic. She would murder me if I even considered taking my clothes off. So yeah, you can be kind of conservative and still do this,
Right.
So for that, I think it comes from loving yourself. Like a lot of this, loving yourself, building your self-confidence, and when you improve yourself, then you improve your relationship.
No, I agree. From a man's point of view, it's like what's really sexy to most men, not that I'm speaking for all men, but John too. When a girl, no matter how good she looks, if she has that, I'm not good enough, do you think I look okay? Am I fat? Do I look? It's kind of a turnoff because you want it to be two adults making a conscious decision to come together, and when you're like having to baby somebody, like you're okay, you're all right, yeah, no, just that way is perfect, no, you're good. It becomes like a man, almost like a child experience, and it's like, no, that's a total turnoff. So a woman who's really confident in who she is, that is really the sexiness there. Last Sunday we were watching some like nostalgia type thing. They would bring up like this oldie thing. I think it was a Johnny Carson thing, and he was interviewing. I think it was one of them was Raquel Welch, Sophia Loren. You know, these types of people. You remember that? And it was really amazing. You looked at them, and sure, they're pretty. Don't get me wrong, but by today's standards, they're not all cosmetic, surgeryed up, and all this, but they exuded so much sensuality because when they talked, they made eye contact. They didn't slouch over. You know, they weren't dressed so skimpily that you were just going, oh yeah, you needed to show all that skin.
True.
They had such a quiet confidence, and they were able to speak. And it was like, wow, okay. I realized why they were so popular for their time. It just makes so much sense. They were just so powerful in a way. You know, they were in so control. So I think, is that true in your classes? That's you're teaching that, even if you didn't want to. You're teaching.
Yeah, I'm teaching that. I'm teaching people to be comfortable with their bodies and who they are. And you know, it's not a thing that's going to happen every day. You're not going to feel amazing 24/7. I have those days where I feel insecure as well, and sometimes I take it out on my boyfriend. I love you, Adam. I mean, you know, if he's watching. But it's just a thing that you have to work on constantly. And knowing that, with pole, knowing that you're capable of something, you're capable of producing something beautiful.
Right.
And same goes for CrossFit too, really.
Oh yeah.
Knowing that you're capable just makes you beautiful and makes you feel good.
I think a big part of it also could be that overcoming fear. Like when you have beginners, are they scared when they come in?
Yes.
I mean, just by the act of doing it, it's scary, right? Like,
Oh,
just
it's so scary. It takes you forever to get into class. And I'm talking to you because you're coming to
I know,
class.
because I keep talking about it.
Yeah. But yeah, people talk to me for months and months. I've had friends that have been my friends for years before they even came to class. Because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what they need to wear. They don't know if they're going to be good. Well, you know, chances are you're going to be horrible your first few times, and that's perfectly normal.
Just be honest, yeah.
If you're not doing horribly, oh my gosh, like, again, I hate you, but you're cool. Because for a lot of us, just walking in there, like, nobody was good on their first day.
Well, that's true with everything, though, right?
That's true with everything.
It builds self-esteem. Whenever you try something and you're not good at it, and you become better at it, that's how you build self-confidence and self-esteem. It makes you feel stronger. It makes you feel empowered. It makes you feel like I can at least try everything. Doesn't mean I'm going to be the expert at it, but I can definitely give it a good shot. I mean, I would never in 50 years old, I'm 51, think
No
I'd be on
way.
a stage doing a split at a bodybuilding contest ever. So
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
So you know what? It's that's what this whole thing is
I wanna
about.
see
Is
that
teaching
split.
self-empowerment to women, you know, and feeling good about their bodies and getting over that stigma with the pole. That if I go into a pole class, it's because I'm going to become a stripper. Maybe not.
If you want to be a stripper,
if you want to do that,
hey,
that's fine.
by all means, you know, be the best stripper that you can be.
You could be a stripper for your significant other. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
So this is
Don't wear heels, by the way. When you're doing lap dances and you're not used to wearing heels, don't wear heels because you might hit someone in the eyeballs.
Well, that's what I just said. When
Yeah.
I say
Oh my
kick your
foot.
foot, I just envision me poking his
So
eye
just
out.
barefoot, make the feet pretty. I'll teach you.
I've got more
Okay,
scars
awesome.
than you'll ever know.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
So we're actually out of time already. So that went by really
That
quick.
We have to have you on
so
again.
quick.
Yeah.
We'll video him doing
We
your
will
pole
video him.
class.
Oh my gosh, we'll teach
and we'll
him
come back
stuff.
again.
Yeah, we'll put that on video. I'll do
I
that.
want him to go upside down. I feel like he can go upside down. I don't know about the handspring, maybe.
No,
The
that
upside down,
But
think
I
you
need
can
help spotting you because I tell my students, like, 250-pound weight limit. I guess
Yeah.
250.
I'll spot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're
we'll
above
spot-
250, I'm not sure about
And
life.
if you're not sure, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, we have crash pads, so you live.
So thanks for being here today. It was really fun.
Thank you guys. I will see you at the gym, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on.
I'm seeing that split.
So this is the Rise Above show. I am Joe Peroni.
I'm Heidi Mancini.
And our special guest.
I'm Tara Starr, and I want to say hi to Jae Jung. We love you.
Thank you.